I am swift and consistent, my enemies will not doubt me.
Our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history, and we are making it greater than ever before.
If I do not want to experience aggression, I must find a way to discourage aggression. What I am willing and able to do must not be doubted. The fear of my reaction must be greater than my enemy's desire to hurt me. What I want must matter more to me than what they want matters to them. This is not a lesson in Newton's third law of motion. There is no equal and opposite reaction in deterrence. My reaction is unparalleled to your action. You know I am not bluffing. You know this is true. It was a different world when the atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. A terrible madness unleashed, creating a lasting effect not only in the soil at ground zero and in the hearts and minds of those who lost so much. It was a sacrifice the United States was willing to make in exchange for the millions of lives that hung in the balance had this war not ended. The United States made a statement. The United States paved the way for deterrence. The Cold War was born with mutual assurance of destruction and retaliation. The United States had power and might and promised to keep her word. But now the Cold War is over because there are new players to consider, with weapons of mass destruction increasing in numbers across the globe and by irrational actors who are not necessarily going to play by the rules. We see in the United States a country drawn apart by many issues, both moral and social, and of course the pandemic.
As the world continues to face the challenge of responding to COVID-19, the 75th anniversary of the atomic bombings in Hiroshima and Nagasaki remind us of the devastating impacts of world events.
Busy healing a divided home while worrying about wolves outside the gate.
Is moved by some terrorist and wipes out a good part of the city.
There's a reason that the president had as his first words in those remarks to the nation that said, quote, "As long as I am president of the United States, Iran will never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon." That declaration is backed by the most effective deterrence capability in the world, and our sanctions will continue until the regime stops its terrorist activity and commits to never having nuclear weapons.
And our government, often confusing her own people who do not understand deterrence or the many theories.
So if we cannot prepare, we must prevent. As UN Secretary General Guterres has said, the international community must reinvigorate its work on nuclear disarmament to, quote, save humanity. It is not a job that we can leave to others or to future generations. He waka eke noa. We are all in this together.
If we have no guns, so to speak, our irrational enemies will destroy us. We cannot back down. We must not back down. We must not let our deterrence become weak.
That an attack that took American lives would not be tolerated, and they tested us, as they tested previous administrations as well many times before. We just want Iran to behave like a normal nation. Just be like Norway. Look, we don't know how the Iranian regime will react as we continue to rebuild deterrence. If we make the right choice and return to a place where we have mutual respect between us, it will be a good thing for the world. We hope that the Islamic Republic of Iran's leadership shares our view, and we hope that we can achieve that for the betterment of security here at home and for stability in the Middle East and throughout the world. Past laxity had emboldened them, but on December 27th, at Soleimani's direction, we changed that. On the 31st, Iranian-backed militias attacked our embassy in Baghdad, and we changed that calculus for them.
They hate the fact that we love freedom, and so they attacked us. And they thought we'd quit.
Chapter 5, verse 16 to verse 18. And it reads thus:
Be joyful always. Pray continually. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus.
Wie wichtig Vertrauen ist. Ich bin davon überzeugt, Vertrauen ist die wichtigste Währung.
We now enjoy a great position of strength regarding Iran. It's as good as it has ever been, and Iran has never been in the place that it is today. We have reestablished deterrence, but we know it's not everlasting, that risk remains. We are determined not to lose that deterrence.
In August 1945, the world saw for the first time what nuclear weapons could do. The consequences were catastrophic, involving unimaginable suffering for those who managed to survive the initial impact and radiation.
I want to turn to Saudi Arabia and China's role in helping Saudi Arabia move ahead with its nuclear ambitions. There are also reports that the Russians are also helping the Saudis in that regard. What should be the United States' level of concern and response?
We should be extremely concerned because it's clear that Saudi Arabia wants more than just the ability to enrich uranium.
Mercenaries have taken control of the largest refineries in Libya. Putin is expanding his probes into the Middle East, trying to expand his influence in the region, and so far without response from Europe, from the Gulf states, or from the United States.
Yes, and the one thing that President Trump has tried to do is he's developed cooperative relations with countries in the Gulf and tried to develop as strong relations with Saudi Arabia as possible because he realizes that despite the Khashoggi murder, the U.S. has very important interests with Riyadh, and those interests go back decades. So it's really, I think, very responsible foreign policy, but he's taken a lot of heat from critics in this country, and I think that to his great credit, he's persisted in this course of action.
What I am willing and able to do must not be doubted.